Well, I'm talking with the Chief Minister and, oh gosh, Brexit. So please stay with us. Please, please, please. No, seriously, on a note, things on the Isle of Man are different to the UK as far as anything that might happen. So you've made preparations for the public, is that right? Yeah,
well, we've been preparing for over a year now for a no-deal scenario, worst-case scenario. There is a chance that the UK could leave with a deal, but we've got to prepare that the UK leaves without a deal. Whilst the goings-on in Westminster, I'm sure you've all been glued to the TV, are the likelihood of crashing out on the 31st of October has reduced. It's still reliant on the European Union saying, we'll give you an extension, which they may not. So we've got to prepare the Isle of Man as if the UK is leaving on the 31st of October. And we've got this guide, which is you could find at gov.im/Brexit.
And that's live on Monday, I know. When this goes out. What differences are there, though? I mean, really, are there major differences between how things will operate here post-Brexit to the UK, or is it roughly the same?
Well, it's not roughly the same. The Isle of Man was never in the European Union, and therefore for financial services, for example, there's no change. But obviously, we've got to give advice to people on their travel, EU citizens living on the Isle of Man, what they have to do. No real change there. I say they're very welcome on the Isle of Man, and they have the opportunity to be resident up to the end of December 2020 before they apply for the right to reside on the Isle of Man, and then they have the 5-year normal period as usual. And then we discuss medicines, we discuss post, for example, if we no longer have a VAT agreement with the European Union, then what happens with parcels coming in from the EU and the payment of VAT, etc. So it's quite a good document. You can read it through, and then there are various links, whether it's links to our own government departments on immigration or whether it sends you off to UK sites. But also, as whatever happens unfolds, because no one's clear what's going to happen, Paul, but whatever does happen, we will be giving regular updates to likes of yourself on our website, and also to the other media sites, letting them know what the Isle of Man's position is and giving advice to the public.
I mean, you make a good point there about the VAT thing. I mean, still being dragged through the thing about having too many jets going through the system. I mean, those are examples where the VAT structures will be potentially quite different, right?
Well, not with the United Kingdom. We've already signed a new agreement with the UK, so that should the UK crash out on the 31st of October, there will be no change with our relationship with the UK. So
if they put VAT up to 30%, we just follow it, or whatever. Okay.
There'll be no change there
handy,
whatsoever.
Is that handy? Is that easy?
Well, it's handy. It means you're not going to have customs points when you leave the Isle of Man if you visit the UK.
So this is online. It's gov.im/Brexit. But have you, slightly maybe one side here, have you had your discussions like they have in the UK about riots and food shortages and medicine shortages? Have you dealt with that one? Or are we just reliant on the UK?
Well, we've negotiated with the UK that the Isle of Man will be treated as part of the NHS when it comes to medicines. And we've even had the disaster emergencies guy over on the Isle of Man from a planning point of view to ensure that our preparations are going well and in accordance with the UK's. I think it would be unreasonable to expect that the Isle of Man on its own, a small nation of 85,000, can negotiate and get its own...
You can't persuade the big supermarkets to put that truck on the lorry, onto the boat to come here, can you, if they've been diverted elsewhere? You have no control over that.
Well, they've agreed that the Isle of Man will be treated the same as if we were a part of the UK. So yes, meetings have been held with all the retailers to discuss this. And there's no point denying there will be some changes to what we can buy and the availability. You might have to try different products. It might not be iceberg lettuce. You might have to try another type of lettuce. That's what's going to happen, no doubt, in the first few months if there is a no-deal scenario.
But Mr. Quayle, are we really just looking into a crystal ball like everybody else? I mean, we must be, right? We don't know what's going to happen.
We can't predict the future, but we can prepare for it, and we've prepared for a worst-case scenario. So if you plan for the worst-case scenario and it doesn't happen, then you're pleasantly surprised.
Are you still flying back and forth on your air miles?
Well, yeah.
Oh, no, EasyJet. Sorry, there's no air miles with EasyJet. You know what I mean?
and as are the relevant officers. Yeah. And, we're prepared. We've got our legislation prepared. Should we need to have an extra Timble sitting to discuss emergency measures of changes to legislation that are needed as a result of Brexit, we will do that. We are the Isle of Man's motto is whatever way you throw me, we will stand, and that's what this government is preparing for, to stand no matter what happens. We will just get on with it.
But we are so dependent on the UK, our biggest trading partner.
It is our biggest trading partner. Our economy is growing. We posted a surplus for the first time in 10, 11 years this year. However, if the UK catches a cold, then we could sneeze. So we need to be well prepared, Paul, and that's what we're doing.
And besides what information is on the website and in this brochure, do people out there have the potential to ring somebody up to get some help, or are they just referred to that document?
Well, you're referred to the immigration department. If you have an immigration issue, you can pick up the phone and speak to the team.
A trading thing, I'm selling whatever. And what's going to happen? Well,
the Department for Enterprise have given a number of meetings to the business community. In fact, we're also should it go ahead, we'll be offering a grant. And we are offering a grant to help people get specialist advice for Brexit. Yeah. So we're doing everything that we can, but it's up to people to go on. The government can't do everything on their own. You, as a member of the public, have to check, are you ready for Brexit? And this, our site and all the information will be given. We'll be updating it on a regular basis. The media interviews, etc., will all help you gain a position on what you need to do to prepare yourself for Brexit.
Well, finally, I should point, we're taping this on Friday for transmission on Monday, but come on, out of 10, what's the chances of this happening on the 31st? In your view? Do you feel this is it now? Because you've done this, so you must think this is it now, right?
Well,
Boris?
The problem, Paul, is that even if if Boris says, okay, I won't crash us out on the 31st of October because Parliament has passed legislation, everyone's forgetting the fact that the European Union may say, no, we're not going to give you an extension. We're fed up with the uncertainty, our businesses are suffering, we want to draw a line under this, and out you go on the 31st of October. So there's no guarantee just because the UK says it doesn't want to crash out, unless it's got some sort of new idea that the EU think, we like that.
Yeah.
That it will happen. So as it's all up in the air. We'd all be super rich, Paul, if we could predict the outcome, and we've just got to prepare for the worst case scenario.
And I'm trying to point out, because we're recording this, God knows what's going to happen over the weekend. I mean, if the extension's on, are you withdrawing this, or do you leave it out there?
No, we carry on regardless.